I'll die on this hill. The lighthouse says 30 minutes of plot. That's okay. A movie doesn't have to be all plot. If you want, I could just like write down what happens in the movie and you could read that instead. You ever heard of the term artistic license? It should be a short story. Come on. You're telling me you have Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, two certified thespians, two titans of the stage, and you're telling me you want a short story? A short story? All right, can I confess something? I've never seen The Lighthouse. I've seen the Dead Meat video where it's like a 20-minute summary, but it looked really good. I'm sure it's cool though. You know what I mean? Like a kill count where he talks about the kills in it, but it like, you know, I'm trying to be a devil's advocate. The Beatles invented groupies? No, I'm sure like Socrates invented groupies. I'm sure like Mansa Musa invented groupies. Like, I mean, if anybody had groupies, it's gotta be Genghis Khan, right? Guy's bloodline extends to like a third of Mongolia. Yeah, I feel like Jesus had groupies, but I'm not really a religious guy. Like, they weren't groupies, but they were definitely traveling with him. It's weird that they were considered a bad influence by people in the 60s. Dude, the disciples? Yeah, it is kind of funny to think of like Ringo Starr and then be like, yeah, he's a danger to our children. Ringo Starr is gonna corrupt our youth. He's like, what you saying fuck me for? I just want to play drums, dude. Or I guess he'd be like, what you saying fuck me for? I just want to play drums. I just like me drums. Have you guys ever left a potato and forgot about it? When I was in 4th year, I left a bag of those small potatoes in a drawer. Totally forgot about them for like 2 months. Go back and they all had eyes growing out of them. The creepy tendrils, bro. I created an eldritch horror within my pantry. Just ask out people for prom in like a big showy way when you were in high school. This was like not really a thing for me. Like, I remember seeing videos online of people doing shit like that, but people would just kind of ask. I sent a text. Wow. No, that's sad. You gotta do like a card or something. I did one promposal, but it wasn't big. She said yes though, so good enough. What would I do? I'm trying to think. I just got one question. And then it's Fortnite John Wick and one of like the pink teddy bears, and it's like, where we dropping this June 18th at the prom. Sorry, I don't know what high schoolers like. Would you be the Livy to my baby Grom? USPS vans are so magical. I want to be a US postal worker. I think people like you are great. Kind of a similar vibe as like people who are into trains. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm so happy that lights up your world. If you're like a package deliverer, you do kind of have to show some care to the packages you are moving around. But if you're one of the people who takes the luggage from the little tube thing you get on the plane, you can just roll shit down the stairs. You can straight up like shot put someone's, you know, mobility device. Just throw it down there. I'm trying to think of what I've been that obsessed with other than the movie The Other Guys. I will say when I went to New York, I was excited about seeing the bull because it's in the movie The Other Guys. So I guess we're kind of on the same level. I feel like if you're a postal worker, you got to be thinking that you're like delivering so many drugs, you know, like even though I'm sure they have very rigorous screening processes, sometimes you got to be like, I wonder if there's like a brick of cocaine in this. And sometimes you'd be right. They don't. They do. A lot of drugs travel by mail. I'm serious, man. I think my friend bought dark web drugs in the mail. Remember when the dark web mystery boxes were popular on YouTube? Opening a dark web mystery box at 3 a.m. Do not watch this. It's like the first one, fool me once, shame on me. The second one's not anthrax, though. Shame on you. I'm kidding. I'm sure anthrax is like hard and expensive to make. They'd probably just send you like shit in a box. What are you talking about? You're probably just like not online enough / old. They're older than the young people who were looking at these videos. Hey, Aspect just got friend zone. What should I do? Great question. Number one, always think about where you're going to for advice. You're asking a Twitch streamer for relationship advice, which, like, you know, just statistically isn't a great move. But thankfully, I think I'm a pretty good counsel on the matter. I think being friend zoned is fine, but you can't look at it that way. You just got to look at it as like, you're not in the, there's no friend zone. It's like maybe you've been rejected in a hard way or a soft way, but you just have to like, now you have a friend. That's it. You're not in the zone. You know what I mean? There's no fucking zone because it implies that you're like gonna get out of it, but you are not Marshawn Lynch in the last 30 seconds of the game. You're like gonna stay in that red zone, and that's something you have to like accept, and then you can move on. And then maybe even that relationship as a friendship will flourish more because you're just accepting it for what it is. Isn't Canada projected to have the worst wildfires ever next year? How do you know that? Did you just Google like top 10 depressing facts to get your Canadian friends sad about life? Right brain creativity versus analytical is all a lie. I am not a neurosurgeon. I think that your left and right brain are like significantly different. They're connected via like a thing in the middle, corpus callosum or something. I don't fucking know. I can't remember. I don't think that's it. But I don't think it's like creative versus analytical. But I do feel like there's distinct areas of the brain that are responsible for things. But that's also like, I think like a structuralist point of view on cognitive science. Is it the corpus callosum? Oh shit! Person, I think it was like a little girl or something who suffered from epilepsy. And then this doctor separated the halves of her brain. And she went on to just like live like a normal life. And I think that was Ben Carson, who actually didn't believe dinosaurs existed. So that's kind of interesting. You can be a neurosurgeon so good that you can split the brain, but then you see the evidence of dinosaurs and you're like, I don't know, man. My history teacher doesn't believe in dinosaurs? That's so funny. She also believes in dragons? Bro, dragons? Dragging your grades through the fucking muck if you ever get tested on history in the future. What are you talking about? Oh no! I think the thing is you have to go whole hog on not believing something or no hog. Whole hog or no hog, specifically on this issue, is like if you say that dinosaurs aren't real, you also have to say that the earth is flat. And like you don't get to be part of just one group. Like if you're saying that people are lying about the dinosaurs, then you got to give the flat earth people their credence. You guys have Scholastic book fairs in America? Or is Scholastic a Canadian company? Yeah, we do. They were my school. We had Scholastic in Australia. Dude, Scholastic must have been making bands. Did any of you guys not get to read books like Harry Potter and stuff like that because your parents thought they were witchcraft? Because I knew people like that. I always felt bad for them. I couldn't get certain books. Not my parents, but my grandparents who are now QAnon nuts. I feel like I've talked to so many people who are like, oh yeah, my aunt, QAnon nut. It's like kind of like COVID. Like, yeah, my uncle, he got long COVID. People talk about it like that because it kind of is just like a tragedy that happened to so many people of being radicalized online, dude. I feel like everybody I talk to who's from America knows somebody. It's fucking crazy. And also, don't come into the chat right now and say, I know someone, and then have an arrow pointing to the tourist emote, because it's insensitive, okay? I know you were thinking of doing that, but don't do that, because that's not, I wasn't there. I was not at January 6th. Which, speaking of Fox News, I can still probably get the last minute tickets to Tucker Carlson. I bet she's got some things to say. They're probably pretty bigoted in some form or another, but they're things that he's saying. He's saying the things. Thank God no one's showing up to legitimize him in any shape or form, and he's kind of been deplatformed. And what's that? My premier's gonna be there. Okay, never mind. Dude, we should do like a bingo sheet. We should do a bingo sheet with like what Tucker's gonna say. Like we'll do like free square, illegal immigration in the US. And then around that we can do physical forehead scrunch. Do you know that some of the Quebec politicians coined the term le wokeism? What is ruining our country? Le wokeism. Canada's not gonna be fucking upper Montana. Not at least until I'm like 35.